don't think I've worn it since then, but you know, I have a tux in case I ever wanted.
How long ago was that?
That was in 2015, so like 8 years ago.
Oh, you absolute baby face.
That was also
oh no,
that was a mask I found on the float. We were very drunk. Like, look at all the cool beads I found. They were like lighting up and like, oh shit.
I would have kept that bottle of whiskey and only took a shot of it once every Mardi Gras.
And we had somebody take a picture of us on the float before we got in trouble. Before like the next people that got on the float like got in trouble for being on it. But we totally like got pictures taken on the float.
I was like,
oops, I didn't know.
So discussions
sponsored by Fender.
Discussions for stream.
Video games.
Video games, of course.
Mortal Kombat.
You
know what do y'all know about Mortal Kombat?
Nothing.
I know that combat is spelled with a K for some reason.
We're stepping in the right direction.
There's a guy with 4 arms, and there's like another guy whose name is.
Johnny
Don't tell me what.
Johnny Cage?
No, not Johnny Cage. What's his name?
Subspace Emissary?
No, it's like what?
Liu Kang?
Is he the Australian guy?
No, that's Kano.
Kano, that's what I'm thinking of. And he's like a dick. He's like a dick.
Yeah.
And then there's a guy with 4 arms. I mentioned him. And he's got
Goro.
like a ponytail.
Yeah, it's Goro. He's Shogun.
Yeah, he's like from another dimension or something.
Yeah, so
where we
can do this right the fuck now. If you want to hit record, like.
So let's.
Yeah, I actually think it would be more interesting for somebody who's not at all familiar. My familiarity with Mortal Kombat comes from like the remake that came out during COVID that I watched directly on HBO Max because I didn't want to go to theaters for it. I know, and I think it was so bad. Like, but I know that Scorpion's in the franchise, and he goes, "Get over here," and that's
the creator, by the way. It does that. The creator has always said, "Get over here."
Oh, get over here. And somebody says "Toasty," and I don't know what that means.
That's the other creator. So it's just
I don't know what it means.
They used to say whenever you would like. So you know how they used to say you'd burn them.
Do like
someone.
A good move.
So
or
if you're whooping someone's ass, it was like you're burning them. So he would say "Toasty." Toasty.
I'm burning.
I didn't know that's what that was from.
Yeah, I'm just naming all the things that I know about Mortal Kombat at this point, but
that could be your first. Dude, I can sit here and explain it. FNAF. You and me know FNAF.
You know FNAF?
Five Nights at Freddy's. I was like doing all the acronyms in my head, so I figured it out.
We can talk about that mug for like an hour, bro.
I know that.
Mortal K. So we're gonna rank them all based on how much we know, and we could talk about it. So Mortal Kombat would be a 1 out of 3. But I would give it like
I'd not mind if y'all had like questions and shit. I would be right here and be like, okay. And I would not. So they have 12 games. We would cover 4 of them because they rebooted it for 9, 10, 11, and they rebooted it again recently. I don't know the story to that one because it's not out yet.
A whole other low-key stack of games right there.
Got Forager.
Right there.
Oh yeah.
Look at this absolute asshole. Like,
this was a
software update tonight.
Oh shit! Wait.
This was a chunk of the ones that I 100%.
Oh.
I was like, dang, I'm getting a lot of Switch games, and then,
like, bro,
man, like, shape up or ship out. What you want?
Shape up or ship out.
Piss or get off the pot. What you want?
Piss or get off the pot.
All right, FNAF. 3 out of 3.
Yeah, pretty much 3 out of 3.
You know a good bit about FNAF?
I've been to Chuck E. Cheese's.
So he's there. He's there. He knows it.
Is that enough?
There's Mortal Kombat. We can sit there and talk about that for a long time, but if y'all don't know
get that out before we stream. Before we
on this thing.
All right. So Mortal Kombat, FNAF, and then we got all the Nintendo stuff. We got Mario,
Nintendo
Zelda.
Should be its own genre. And
Nintendo will be an entire season.
I want to talk about that. I want to talk about
Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much a given. Because I really wanted to talk about like story, like ranking, discussing story.
I can talk about fish.
Oh yeah, you did.
The thing I can tell you about fish. You want to know about obscure South American cichlids.
Not necessarily.
I'll tell you about them.
What was it, a blue tongue skink that you also have?
Yes.
Skank.
My blue tongue skank. Her name is V.
Don't talk about his wife.
Yeah.
Aye.
No, her name is V, and she's precious.
Oh yeah, he got big lizard.
Mm-hmm.
Define lizard.
It's like a snake, but with legs and eyelids and more developed brain.
Oh god.
Yeah, smarter.
Like the motherfucker from Mario 64, but with legs.
Mm.
Yes, and also
And do we
not
want to
aquatic.
use real names or handles?
I'm cool with either.
Want to be Crash Jackson?
Crash Jackson.
Yeah. I'm
Not Captain Tim.
Yeah. Nah, sorry. I don't care. Whatever you want to do.
I'm cool with real names, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I think real names are fine. Look,
I can't call you Daddy 05, bro. Like,
Big Daddy, like
my
that one.
clever girl.
oh,
When she was a baby.
Jurassic Park.
Doesn't she look like she's got something going on?
Mm. Do you feed her the little grubs that squirt blue guts out?
No, but I've fed her super worms, and at one point I had a dubia roach colony, but hated it. Hate roaches. Ugh.
And she would just eat them?
And I'd have to get like little forceps and catch one, and then like stick it in her enclosure, and she'd eat it. Like, but they're like, if I put I used to work at Petco, and I used to get crickets there, and the crickets don't have very much nutritional value, so it doesn't really benefit her to give her those. And then her enclosure is like really lush. I put a lot of plants and stuff in there, and she's not very good at hunting. Kind of derpy. So I put crickets in there at one point, and they didn't die, and they survived, and I ended up with like
1,000 crickets.
none of my jokes were landing anymore. I just was hearing crickets every time, and it just wasn't fun. So I had to like let them die of old age, which took like a week or two, and then I didn't do that anymore. I tried.
I've lived a full life.
Yeah, like whatever crickets live. And then after that, I tried dubia roaches because they're supposed to be more nutritious, and they're easy to keep. You just get like
roaches.
dubia roaches.
Dubia.
It's dubia. It's a type of roach, and yeah, I guess you could. But they're I don't know where they're native to, but they're not capable of climbing like the roaches here. The roaches in America suck. They're awful. They can fly and they can climb smooth surfaces. Those are superheroes in the roach realm, by the way, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
Dubia roaches do not have wings, and their little feet, they can't climb up plastic.
Mm-hmm.
So if you keep them in like a Rubbermaid container,
they
can't escape. So I had
that's
like
still
It's
even though
still
they
like,
can't, I'm still just like, there are roaches right there, man.
Yeah. All you had to do is you have to have like a little container, and I put the little like gel things in there that they could like suck on and get moisture from. It's you can buy it at the pet store, but it was just like jello water basically. And I put the little cubes of that in a little corner, and then a bunch of egg crate for them to like crawl around and live in, and then just like I cut a cabbage in half. Just put like a half a cabbage in there, and they ate off of that.
Probably forever.
And you just put a closed lid on it and put it in the dark somewhere, and they just multiply, and then you open it up and it's full of roaches. I'm like, ugh, ugh. And I had to like.
Does it look like that scarab scene from The Mummy?
Exactly like.
Just like a
river
of scarabs.
The Mummy.
No, that's what somebody was saying. They're just like, if my pre-workout don't feel like bugs in skin, I'm like, do you need your pre-workout to make you feel like scarabs are eating through your body?
Oh man.
That scene from Mummy. Yeah.
Man, these things are just disgusting. That's what they look like, and they're like fat, round assholes.
That's the dubia roaches.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
so seeing those,
get kind of.
So seeing those as compared to American or German cockroaches.
Yeah, they're not as disgusting looking, but they're still disgusting. You know. Yeah. And the males have wings, but they can't fly. Weird.
Good.
They're not capable.
They have hopes, but no dreams.
Yeah. But anyway, you'd have to catch them and put them in there, and I just got tired of like it. I was so paranoid that it was gonna like get knocked over by the cat or something, and I'd have roaches all over my apartment. So at one point, I put the container outside on the back behind my apartment, and I moved on with my life. and winter came, and I forgot that they were out there, and they all died. And I was just like,
oops, sorry,
Alright, bro.
Oops.
But I think it was more subconscious. I was like, oops.
Have you ever heard Beauty and the Beast?
I've seen it.
It sounds like a Veggie Tales
That's
knockoff.
That's
or
one of those
something.
Todrick Hall. It's Belle in the Ghetto, pretty much. If you have good credit, you can be my wife.
Damn.
I say Beauty and a Beat. Nicki Minaj.
Beauty and the Beat. It'll be by Todrick Hall.
I see Salt and Pepper.
My package is out for delivery.
Hey, La Washer. Hey, La Dryer. No. All right, so Nintendo, all the main Nintendo things: Zelda, Mario, Donkey Kong, Metroid, Animal Crossing. What's the other? Wanna shoot, baby? Shoot,
I like Salt and Pepper. There's sometimes someone's like, yeah, Salt. Some guy told me that I should be listening to Salt and Pepper because it's not my culture. I tell you about that.
I got
So,
in
like-
trouble for that when I was a kid.
I get
Go-
to do
you-
whatever
you,
I want.
You say it, and then I'll tell you my story of somebody telling me I wasn't allowed.
I wasn't offended, but I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Because he was like, have Salt and Pepper. And I was like, the group or the condiment? And he was like, you shouldn't be listening to them. Like, why? And he goes, that's not your culture. I was like, yeah, have Salt and Pepper, please. Like, fuck. Like, I don't restrict
Excuse
music
me?
from no one, you know? You continue.
I got bullied pretty hard by some black kids because when I was in like 7th grade, I had the same shoe size I have now. I wore 14, and my mom was really struggling trying to find shoes for me. So she went to Shoe Carnival and found a pair of size 14 shoes.
There's probably like some Velcro shit.
No, it was they were like just sport shoe. Well, anyway, they were FUBU, as it turns out, and I didn't know I was a 7th grade kid. I didn't know what that meant. I still don't really get it. But there was there was a group of kids that came on me and said, you can't wear those. You're not allowed to wear that brand. I'm like, why? And he's like, because FUBU stands for us, by us. And they were like bullying me hard because they said like only black people were allowed to wear those. And I was just like, this is just my mom got me. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, and like they had to get like the principal involved, and like ultimately my mom just found another pair of shoes for me, and it was really weird.
So while I was in college, I was part of a independent percussion group, indoor percussion, and we ended up going to finals in Dayton, Ohio, and stuff. I have the drum head upstairs. We didn't make it into the top anything because they moved us up a class, and it wrecked. If we would have stayed in our class, we would have won first place or second. Like we would have been top 3 easy. And then they moved us up an entire class on our way to finals, and we didn't make it past semifinals. But we got to watch all the finals, and this is like, you have a basketball floor, and there's just a group of percussion that comes in, do their show, and then gone. Now, this isn't just, No, one group had an entire back wall of freaking LED panels and had an entire movie playing while they were doing their stuff. I think that was metal. They use money. They use money to win. And then there's a whole nother one that did a Kong, and there's a giant fist that would have been the entire size of this room that comes in and grabs the woman. Like there's this, all the percussionists are this tribal group, and the woman walks in, and they're like they end up sacrificing her to Kong. And they had a whole back wall of like bamboo looking hut. And then behind that wall was this giant hand. Like imagine a hand almost as big as this room.
So they got the theater department involved.
Yes. And then the doors open and you just see the hand come out, and she steps onto it, and then they pull her. And she just screams, and then that's it. They had one that was like a poltergeist one, that they had an entire house with all kind of electronics and stuff that they set up on the stage, and it's like, you have here. Yeah, that just haunted house. But they set up an entire movie set. And just like, guys, this is just
horror movies.
We're supposed to horror movies. Well, Five Nights at Freddy's. That covers
It's not
all
a
of it.
movie yet. I mean, it's coming.
So I don't really watch horror movies because I
mean, if
can't
you
get
consider,
into them. I
that
can't
one,
suspend my belief.
Willy's Wonderland, the Nicolas Cage movie. That's kind of a Five Nights at Freddy's like offshoot.
That's an awful movie. I watched like 20 minutes of it.
I
was
mean,
like, this is
but
bad.
you get that it's like in the vein of what you're.
Yeah. You know, the Five Nights at Freddy's movie was supposed. It already happened twice. And I think that was one of them, and the other one was called the Banana Split. And it was the guy.
Oh,
the
yeah.
guy Scott Coughlin went and developed with these two movies, but then like halfway through they were like, we want to do this. He was like, I don't want that, and they were like, okay. They kicked him out twice. So then I guess whoever he came out with this time was okay with the ideas and stuff. Because if you go watch the Banana Splits, they're all very, very, very similar to the animatronic. Man, I need to shut the fuck up because we're not gonna be.
So I have the movie down there, bottom left on the second to last one. It's called Stravinsky and the Mysterious House. If you want to grab it real quick. Those models were made by top. Yeah, there you go. Those models were made by Scott Coughlin. But I talked with the guy who made this, and he'll come on the podcast.
He will come on the podcast.
This is I am the glob glow gab galab the schwabble dabble deeble dabble deeble blah blah blah.
You already talked about the podcast?
He made this thing pretty much all by himself, but Scott Coughlin made the model. There is a 3D setting in it too. Let me see real quick. But yeah, what was his name? David Hutter. Yeah. But he made all this, and then the other games that Scott Coughlin helped him with,
The German
with Hope
release,
Animation. Huh? Yeah, this dude's out of Europe.
Oh,
sorry.
Just burped in my nose. Stung.
But this is what my
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so this is kind of imagine a VeggieTales, but it's not.
But they have
vegetables.
Arms.
Yeah,
and they're not vegetables.
That looks a lot like what's his name.
So my first.
Oh
no, this got wet. Why did this get wet?
That's what I was saying.
So
it got
you
a little bit
can't
of water
find
damage.
the physical copies anymore either.
Just take the I've done this to fix some games. Take this out. Put like a t-shirt on an ironing board, and then put a t-shirt over it. Iron it. Maybe spray the t-shirt with a little bit of water. You can iron it black. There's some techniques you can look up online if you're concerned, but you can fix games that have water damage. I don't know.
It was coffee.
Spill coffee on it.
Because you know that game, the Blue Shadow or the Blue Dragon, whatever. It's by.
Yeah.
It's 5 disc.
Xbox.
Yeah.
360.
So I have that one.
I always wanted that one.
Coffee spilt on that one too. I have it upstairs.
I'm gonna fix it.
No, that one is.
It's bad.
That one is like it stuck to the plastic and ripped to pieces. So I need to find another case. But I still have all the games in there unscratched and perfectly fine. So it's a good thing. Now, focusing.
I know.
Okay. So video games. Breath of the Wild we could talk about.
You like Amiibo?
I mean, I might know a little bit about Amiibo.
Mario Kart? How much I know about Mario Kart?
Ooh, I'll smoke you on the Rainbow Road on Mario Kart 64 all day.
Which one?
Dude,
Mario Kart 64.
I know, but which
so
game
mine.
are you talking about? Like I know it's the 64 Mario Kart track, but wait, 64 Mario Kart track. That's the really long one, right?
Yeah, Rainbow
I love
Road.
that one. Yeah.
With
the fireworks and stuff.
The stars in the background, 64.
Do you know the trick where you jump over the thing and you float?
Yeah, I never really did that though.
Okay,
but
I've tried it, and it only works like 1 out of 20 times.
Yeah, it's like it's not worth the risk sometimes.
Because by the time you finish falling, if you don't land on that track at the end, then everyone's already so far ahead of you, you ain't catching up.
Yeah, and I found there is a shortcut in the Koopa Troopa Beach level where there's like this one ramp that leads to a tunnel, and if you go through the tunnel, it takes you out on the waterfall on the other side, like around the.
Oh yeah.
Everybody else has to go all the way around, but the only way to like get up the ramp, get enough speed to like make it into the hole to cut through is you have to use like a mushroom to like get you enough speed right at the right moment. And I figured it out when I was a kid, and I was excited about it.
So I've seen people that like speed run that shit, and if you do because you can do the little bouncy rounds up. If you do it just right, you can land in there.
Oh, I never figured that out. But I figured out if I use a mushroom to get enough speed, you can get in there.
Oh yeah, it's one of the most satisfying things because it's such a small hole. If you miss it by the slightest,
you go boom,
and then you just
and then all that extra effort, you're in 8th place at that point, last place.
See, for me, Mario Kart Wii was my jam. Mario Kart DS as well. That's the one that I had time, and I did all the ghosts. Holy shit! Going against all the developer ghosts. You know about that? Yeah, I would never do it again. Ever. Crash Kart Racing has it, and I was like, I'm not going to 100% Crash Kart Racing because... Now, if you haven't played Crash Kart Racing Nitro Fueled, the mechanic of power sliding, so you have to press one bumper to start it, and then there's a bar that starts going up and down, and you have to hit the other bumper at just the right time, and then you get your power boost, and then you can do it several times depending on how you're doing it. So it's a lot more technical, but it feels so good. I would take it over Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, one of our topics.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Let's see. Mortal Kombat.
I'm just going through all the things I follow.
Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart Racing.
So we have video game topics. That's good. Any movie?
Blade Runner. I want to talk about Blade Runner.
I haven't seen it.
So we can talk. Star Wars. We all know Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. But I want to talk about Blade Runner also.
Blade Runner? Which one's Blade Runner? Is that the vampire?
No, Blade Runner.
No, Blade Runner.
I've never watched Blade Runner.
I'll tell you all about Blade Runner.
I mean, I can tell you all about Frogger.
Yeah, you got Frogger right there. I was looking at him.
I actually got another one in this PC. I got a bunch of the little Tokaku, the little plus sign based things that they made.
Just make up a word and I'll believe you. Say it with confidence.
It was the Tokaku toy line. They had Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, Banjo. They did a bunch of rare stuff. They did everything. They had Tomb Raider. They took all famous video game ideas that weren't Nintendo.
They should make a prequel to Tomb Raider. Call it Womb Raider.
The birth of a legend.
You gotta escape the first cave.
Cave Story Plus?
Yes. Afterbirth Plus.
Oh, God.
The Binding of Isaac Afterbirth.
Yeah. It's like a crossover with Tomb Raider.
You ever watch that SML? Not SNL. SML Super Mario Logan with Jeffy, the puppet?
Oh.
It's like, you, daddy? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, so they got a C&D from Nintendo.
And now they have Marvin instead of Mario. So I went and actually met them about a year ago.
Didn't they have like a Black Mario or something in it?
No, they had Black Yoshi.
Black Yoshi.
He was like, what up, fool? And he was like, I'm trying to play video game with my Xbox.
So someone from Nintendo said they haven't put Black Yoshi in anything because of SML.
They have him in Mario Kart.
They have him in Mario Kart?
Right. Because that's why I play Black Yoshi. And it's like, because I was like, because he was one of my favorites. Because it wasn't racist. It was just a ghetto ass character, Black Yoshi. And then they had Toad, and he was like, hello! And he came in.
It was Ultimate. That's why they made the Woolly World shitty looking Yoshi skin, and they took out the Black Yoshi.
I kind of like that one. The texture to it.
Yeah. It would have been nice if they would have done like a full yarn looking Yoshi. Alright. So we could always do Smash Bros too.
Yeah.
Smash is a good one.
I want to talk about The Office.
The Office? Yeah,
There's
I like
one
The Office.
episode I like. It's whenever Dwight's sleeping with that girl in the office, and then they have a camera on him. He's like, hands out. You know what I'm talking about?
But one of my favorites is like when it's revealed to everyone in the office, and Oscar's like, "Where did you have sex in this office?" And he's like, "I've had sex everywhere." And he's just like, "Where, Dwight?" And he's like, "Where?" And he's like, "I think you know where." And he's like, it just kind of like gives him like this like.
Have you heard about that random office worker that she wasn't named, but she just shows up randomly? She was kind of in the background.
Yeah, I forget her name, but yeah, I've followed every now and then she pops up, especially like I think like the first 4 seasons or so. After that, she's just gone. I think it's like explained by the producers that they just kind of because apparently like there were some annex workers who were supposed to like not want to participate in the documentary, and it was like written into it, but they had like some people that were. But after the merger between the Scranton office and the Stamford office, they had enough cast to where I didn't really feel like they needed to have filler characters in the background, so they just kind of phased them out. Apparently, something like that.
Clocked out for the last time.
Yeah, and they just kind of write it out like, oh, they just left with the Stanford people that left. That didn't work out. Like, you end up with just Andy. I think Andy's the only Stanford member that made it. Yeah.
I was about to say something.
What's a good show we've all seen?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine. For rewatch.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Scrubs.
Scrubs is one of the OGs.
Yeah.
One of my old roommates would watch it on repeat.
Oh.
He would just have it playing in the background at all times.
Is
So I
that the one with
kind of
Fortnite
watched.
dance?
Huh?
Is that the one that Fortnite took that dance from? I'm pretty sure when I was
They
younger,
took one of
I
them.
betcha.
It's the one where they're dancing to.
That
Yeah,
better
'cause
not be
he-
the thing that everybody knows Scrubs from, though. That's like that'd be such.
Which one is it?
It's like the.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's-
Turk does that.
Turk tried to sue Fortnite, and he lost. It was just
You
like
can copyright that.
you can, but he didn't.
Why would you want to? I mean,
And because it's been so old and he hasn't used it for any money,
yeah.
you can't. Because he did it, and then a bunch of places started doing it, and the courts were just like, no.
What about what's his name? The Carlton.
Oh,
They
yeah,
got in
Carlton,
trouble for that one.
Fresh Prince.
I don't think they lost.
No,
that.
they didn't.
Because as far as I know, they didn't lose any of them. But bless you, God save you.
Make
Now
a
you
wish.
just want attention.
Make a wish. If you sneeze 3 times in a row, you get to make a wish, and you better wish for not sneezing anymore, because that's the best one. So you don't have to sneeze anymore. But wish for more wishes, then you can use it for later.
All right,
So
I wish
at
for
one
this-
point, Fortnite got sued by Apple.
You know,
I don't remember what it was for, but whenever they went to the court cases, they had to provide all these pictures and whatever that were going to be in the build for iOS.
You know, it was
And
one-
in the build
you won't believe it.
was a shadow of Samus.
What?
Because Nintendo had made a deal that on the Nintendo platforms you'd be able to play as Samus.
Ooh.
And
Did that ever
Samus.
happen? I say Samus.
Well,
Samus,
because
Samus.
it got leaked.
Samus Aran. Is that right? Not Samus
close.
Aran, huh? That's wrong.
Now, Metroid. So Metroid Girl.
Yeah. Miss Metroid.
Yeah, I know.
Miss
Miss
Metroid.
Metroid.
Miss Metroid. So Miss Metroid, the shadow was in there, and because it was going to be like this big reveal thing where they revealed someone else, but they had a bunch of shadow people along like a banner, kind of like they were in a mall almost. And you saw Samus.
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 Daughter of the Chozo.
Yep.
Chocobo.
You Samus, Aryan, daughter
Yeah.
of the Chocobo. But but
They are bird people, so.
because it got leaked, well, because they had to use it in the court cases and everyone figured it out, Nintendo cut it. Nintendo said nope.
So
Now, surprisingly, they made a deal with Skylanders and you got Donkey Kong and Bowser up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, I mean,
You need to put the back on it so it has a little mobility. There should have been a back. Usually when I get stuff like that.
it didn't,
Oh. Well,
but
put like a trellis on the back.
I was going to put like a little, little metal wire.
So do you know what
Cross
Fortnite got in
that
trouble
works.
for?
What?
So anytime you bought through Apple, they get a percent, right? So Fortnite decided to go out of their way, like on other platforms where they didn't have those terms, like let's say Xbox and even their own store. They said, well, you can get this V-Buck for $8 instead of the 10 you have to buy it on Apple for.
So
So they're like, if you go over here, you pay less, but you get the exact same. So we get paid more technically, but it's less for you. Apple's like, hey, motherfucker, that's not cool. And because their sales dropped like 80% for it after that. Because everyone was like, fuck that. Why would we buy V-Bucks on there? It's $2 more expensive. Or even the $100 went to $60.
So any like MMO type games, not really a part of that world. So you guys start talking about that.
Is it MMO? Is
It's gonna be
Fortnite
like,
MMO?
Well, like,
Where's the clock out?
I'm just saying like I'm not a part of the Fortnite world, so I don't really know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Just
But
lawsuits.
I mean, unless you guys want to like, make that a part of it, like hey, what do you think of this? person who's not all aware of it, and it maybe be like the joke would be like, I have no idea, and I can come up with like what I think it is that you're talking about. That might be interesting, but from an outsider's perspective, I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's just Fortnite got in trouble.
Okay.
Apple because
You know, I mean, fuck Apple.
Apple's not hurting.
No,
They got all that money.
no. They
Have you seen their headquarters in New York? Or I think it's New York. They got a park.
Hmm?
They got a big circle. It looks like the
thought it was in
Pentagon.
It's not in Seattle.
It probably is. I don't know where it is, but they got like a
I know
Pentagon
Microsoft's
building.
in Seattle, so I was thought
that's like if you see Google's campus.
California maybe.
That one too. Yeah, it's the
Apple's
Apple
insane.
campus. It's like a Pentagon, and it's they got a huge park in the middle of it. They got stuff there you wouldn't believe.
I always wanted to go to Savannah, Georgia. It just looks pretty. I watched the movie, what is it, like Midnight, The Garden of Good and Evil movie that
Never heard of it. I need to rip the label off of this because that's free.
Clint Eastwood directed. Took me a second. It's
Okay, I
actually
guess.
kind of foreshadowing to all the shit that went down with Kevin Spacey though, because Kevin Spacey's like this rich guy in the movie who turned out to be like having secret gay relations with like some young guy
Kevin
who's
Spacey.
played by young Jude Law,
Oh,
and like he gets like murdered or something, and they're trying to find out
don't do that.
who did it, and
That's
it ended
never
up
a good
being
time.
like I don't remember the whole movie. The point is it was shot. It takes place in and was shot in Savannah, Georgia. John Cusack's in it. Anyway, it was a good movie, and I'm like, man, it looks pretty. I want to go there. It looks pretty.
We could talk
So-
about
I'm going to Savannah, Georgia.
one of the best bands ever.
Dude, no, I don't know. I know
Not
Billy
there.
Joe Armstrong.
So one of the ideas I had
He's
is
the
like
main guy.
getting really silly segues into commercials
Yes.
that are for nothing.
I want to do like the commercial voice.
So one YouTube video that I have scripted and I recorded and then didn't put it.
We sell kitten mittens.
Kitten mittens.
Meow.
No, mitten kittens.
No.
You taxidermy cats for hand warmers. So we'll do the kitten mittens and then the mitten kittens. Taxidermy
How much
cats.
Ninja Sex Party right now?
Ninja sex party.
You never heard of them?
No.
So for my mom's birthday last year, she wanted to watch a movie with us, and she's like, "AJ, I want you to pick a movie." I said, "No, pick a movie right now." She's like, "Why?" Because I like all the vulgar stuff right now, Mom. Oh, I find that stuff funny, you know. She was like, Seth Rogen, all
Don't
that.
watch
I
a
love
vulgar
that.
movie with your parent.
I watched South
Learn
Park
that the
movie.
hard way.
with my
Hard way.
mom, because my mom used to watch South Park, and I watched the movie with her, and she was just laughing her ass off the entire time. I couldn't believe she was enjoying it. Like she was like, I used to watch it. I got you into it. I was like, I know, but I'd never watched this movie with my parents before. Is what I told her.
Which movie was it?
The South Park movie.
Oh, no.
And then we watched it. And she was just sitting there laughing. She was singing it. She knew almost the entire thing. She was like, I was like, damn, okay, because she was like in her 20s whenever it came out.
All the boys and girls.
Because it's been out, what, 30 years now?
I think because after the movie came out, they stopped they uncensored everything because Comedy Central became a more premium channel. We actually almost covered that one a few months ago, me and
Do it.
Mason. Because
Do it.
I was gonna do it, but my voice gets so raspy. at the
Before
end
my
of it.
grandmother died, she held my hand, looked at me in the eye. Be anything you want, but don't be beat.
That part. Good advice.
Where? Don't you
I want
do
to talk
it,
about
Carmen.
It's Always
Where?
Sunny in Philadelphia.
I wanted you.
I want to talk about It's Always Sunny in
I
Philadelphia.
haven't watched it yet. Have you watched Sunny in Philadelphia?
It's Always Sunny.
I've seen the episode where they get held up in the. I was very high whenever I watched it, but it was the episode whenever.
That's a good
They
episode.
get held up, and Danny DeVito was just sitting there eating the hot dogs, and I was crying because I thought it was so funny. 'Cause
I saw the one where they siphon gas with their mouth.
I did see that one too.
they try to sell the
Dave
gas.
Chappelle.
Shows. We can talk about long-running animated shows.
Fighter of the night, man. Champion of the sun.
I got
He's
this
a
monster
master
condom
of
for my Magnum
karate
dog.
and friendship
For
for everyone.
We can talk about long-running shows
Supernatural.
in general. Like I've never
That
watched
had a supernatural run. Had many episodes, many seasons.
Walking Dead.
So one of the
Walking
plans
Dead.
is kind of as we've been talking and recording everything, I'm gonna take clips of it and kind of just sprinkle it for interesting moments.
Oh,
I'm
no.
super.
Thanks for asking.
I hope that joke doesn't come back to haunt me.
Don't you
No.
think I look cute in this hat?
Oh no.
In this
But
Fender hat?
I'm just going through all my subreddits that I follow, trying to come up with good things to
Amiibo,
talk about.
Undertale.
I like
I
it.
haven't played it yet, but I know about it. I'm familiar.
I like it.
I was actually wondering if is that a real amiibo on the end? I didn't know that
So
existed.
Fangamer made action figures because I have Sans right there and I have Frisk up there. The little boy.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know those.
That was a
I
little
didn't know
girl. I like putting a little girl in the game.
Yeah.
Sometime.
I
So
got-
the evil one, Chara, is the girl and Frisk is the boy, I believe. I don't know.
Depending on what ending you
It's
go
whatever
for.
you want it to be.
Yeah, I got Undertale and I got Omori from Fangamer because I really wanted to play them at some point, but I never played them yet.
I
But
almost
those are
heard
those are
one.
both
We
games
can-
that I've heard. I'm looking for like Earthbound like games because I like Earthbound.
I
and
started
wanna play.
It, didn't finish.
Yeah, I didn't finish it either.
I got it on
But
my 3DS.
I liked it and I wanted.
So it's on
like,
NSO it's on NSO. You could get it
Yeah.
the Super Nintendo. I started playing it and I was just like because when I got back from closing, I started streaming
It just I know that that's
TheMusicalFro at night. And I would dress up like in a suit with sunglasses.
you're doing like a community type thing. It was like well no because you remember like they did like their fake show Troy and Abed because there was like Troy and Abed in the morning but then they did like a
Nights.
sequel nights
Try and I bed in the morning.
and then they're like oh we got our first caller pick it up and it's like Annie in the other room she's like hey guys long time listener first time calling can you guys shut the up so I can go to sleep.
Dude, I love Community.
Shut the up.
I don't know if it's exactly like that, but I was just like, that was the energy she was putting out. I was just like, damn.
Oh my god, it's a
So
tear.
Community was fantastic until
Yes.
like the last 2 seasons, because then they got rid of
No, it was season
The
4.
only-
That was the Gaslight year.
that's the Gaslight year.
Season 4. The first 3 seasons, Dan Harmon was attached to it. He was involved. He was like the showrunner, director, or maybe not director. He was producer. He wrote it, and he got pushed out by NBC, Universal, whoever was in charge of it at the time, and they fired him essentially and replaced him with different writers. I don't know who they were
Because
I'm
it
not shitting
became
on-
shit after that.
yeah, the season 4 was just kind of it's not
Was that where the paintball war was?
that was in many seasons. There was like a paintball episode in like pretty much every season. But the season 4, it's not terrible, but it's really obvious that the direction has changed, and it's just like the characters are not written true to themselves.
Didn't they also get rid of Old Man when they also got rid of Dan Hartman?
Chevy Chase was I think it was completely separate reasons. I'm kind of fuzzy on the details right now, but I know he kind of left on his own for some reason. I don't know if there was really a controversy or because he's kind of like an asshole in general in real life. He's kind of known to be like an asshole in real life. So I don't really know much about if maybe it was that or maybe he just left to pursue something else. I couldn't tell you, but
Yeah.
but
He might have gotten. I mean, he's an old man. He might have been tired.
yeah, I mean, like
kids.
it could have been legitimate, and like, I mean, there's a difference between being an asshole and being like, you know,
Tired.
yeah, he might have been. Well, you know what I mean. Like he might have been like kind of he might be an asshole, but he's not a douche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if there's.
Like he's
it's
just
that.
blunt and
I'm pulling
straightforward.
from Guardians of the Galaxy,
And then when you have some
or a
younger
dick,
people-
whatever he said.
You ready?
You might have
Harrison Ford. Is he an asshole or is he just tired?
Oh, he's just high and tired.
Have you seen his most recent interview with the new Indiana Jones, where they were like, "If you had the dial of destiny, where would you go?" And he said, "Just like that." I was
Dude,
like,
he's not an asshole. I think he's cool.
Because I've heard he was
He's saying well.
super